My name's Benji George. I started using Edmodo. I started it this summer and then incorporated it this year for the first time. And myself and a couple of other teachers have had some real good success with it, so I thought it was something that the teachers should know about. And I'm going to start with a real short video that was on ABC News about Edmodo.
Tonight's special segment, Techno Teaching. Technology and social media are changing the way teachers and students think about learning. It's not just about laptops replacing textbooks. As ABC 7 Cheryl Burton reports tonight, technology is transforming the classroom.
Okay, here you go.
For Doreen Sobel's 8th grade Spanish class, the school day doesn't end when the bell rings.
But it's what's happening in technology and it's happening in school. And it's not the wave of the future, it's here.
Sobel teaches at Gower Middle School in Burr Ridge. She uses a social media tool called Edmodo to lead online discussions both in and outside the classroom.
It doesn't feel like homework, and that motivates them.
Emily Zipka taught a whole unit online over winter break using Edmodo. She says because it's similar to social media sites like Facebook, students are comfortable using Edmodo to log on at home and talk about schoolwork.
It's fun, but it's also a great way to push them to really think and encourage them to look at things from different perspectives because they're seeing whatever we're discussing through other students' eyes.
Edmodo founder Jeff O'Hara lives in the far western suburbs. The site mimics social media sites by creating secure virtual classroom discussion boards so teachers can post discussion topics and questions. Then students reply and work together to help each other learn. Students and teachers can even log on and check the site from anywhere using a mobile phone.
They're using these tools for their social lives. It just makes sense for them to be using the same types of tools for their learning.
Because
Okay, I'm going to stop it there. And then on edmodo.com, there's a real short video that'll like take you around Edmodo and kind of show what it is. It's real short. I'm going to play it for you real quick. Okay, Brad, do you have internet connection?
Looks like it.
Okay, can you tell me if this is, if it's not firewalled?
I'm on Edmodo right
You're on Edmodo, okay. If you log into Edmodo using MHSW in front of the edmodo.com, you can put in a school code, and all that does is it allows you to join the Manhattan High School community on Edmodo, and you only have to put the code in one time. So once you do that, you're automatically in the Manhattan High School community on Edmodo. And that's N1GB8Q. Can't read my writing. Yeah, it is case specific, all lowercase.
What is it?
GB8Q. I never write lowercase, so I apologize if it's hard to read. And then once you log into Edmodo, the first thing you'll probably notice is that it is similar to Facebook. It's set up to look similar to Facebook. Yeah, really similar. Some people have reservations about that, but Edmodo makes it so that students cannot interact with each other. Students cannot interact with each other. So Tommy can't write on Billy's wall like they'd be able to on Facebook. You can't see what's been written on somebody else's wall. Okay, so if a student sends me a question, the other students cannot see that they've sent me that question. Does that make sense? So it's not totally open like Facebook is. It only allows student-teacher interaction, teacher-student interaction. So it's a little bit more secure.
So it's like you're the teacher and the teacher.
Right.
So
The students cannot interact with each other. Now you can send out notes to the entire group, to all of them at once, and they can reply that way. But individual students cannot interact with individual students.
so they can't see what each other.
Right.
You can ask questions, but they cannot see each other's responses.
No.
But then how is it do it?
They can send it to the group wall if they want, and I'll show you what that is in just a second. Once you have an account, the first thing you would want to do is create a group. And so you can see the group that I've created is for my classes, biology. If you had multiple preps, you'd probably want to create a group for each prep. And then the students could join your group. Once you have a group created, Edmodo assigns a group code, and the students, when they join your group, they just have to put that code in one time. So that's not something that they have to memorize or remember. So if Johnny wants to make an Edmodo account and join my group, he would just have to put in that code, and he'd automatically be in my group. And you just have to put the code in one time. So like I said, it's not something they have to remember, that code. And then once you have students in your group, then you can manage your group and see what students have joined. So for instance, in my biology class, you can see here I have 12 members or so, and there they all are. Okay. And if a kid forgets their password or doesn't know what their username is, you can tell them what their username is. You can change their password. If they don't remember their password, I usually just put their lunch number. But you have access to that stuff. If they forget how to log in or any of that, you have access to it. Before I show you how I use it, I want to point out the real reason I don't have any handouts or anything for you is because the help section of Edmodo is really good. If you're stuck on anything or if you're having trouble getting started, it's broken into sections, so you can just click on what you're having trouble with, and the help tutorials are good. And then there's also this Edmodo in action, and they're videos of how to use Edmodo in your classroom. So how to use Edmodo in language arts, social studies, science, professional development, and video performance. So those are helpful too, and are there for you. Like I said, I just started using this year. A couple other teachers are using it. I just wanted to show you how I use it, and I know Edmodo, there's more to it, but I just wanted to show you how I use it and what I've had some success with. The first thing I like about Edmodo is that I can send out reminders, like, hey, test tomorrow, vocab due. And you can, if you want, you can attach a file to your reminder. So I could attach the Word document for the vocab.
And this goes to their Edmodo account?
It sends it to their Edmodo account.
Okay, so they have to check their Edmodo account to see
Right.
this.
Right.
It won't go to their account.
Right. Yeah, they have to log in and get it. But if you attach a file to it, you know, the assignment or whatever, then you can.
Do you find the student checks their Edmodo account daily?
Probably not daily because I don't use it in class daily. It's probably used the most for me. This is for me. Probably used the most day before the test. I show the kids, here's how to get to my stuff. I've showed them this before every test, where my stuff is, how to get to it, how to get to the PowerPoints. And then what I tell them to do is if they have a question, Edmodo me a question if they're studying. And I have my phone set up to where Edmodo will text me if somebody writes something on my wall. And so I'll know to log in. I know that somebody sent me something and I know to log in and answer their question. And before every test, I've had students send me questions. So that's yeah, I would. Or, you know, it's I don't know how popular it is now, but, you know, some classes have Facebook pages. And like I said, this is a little bit more secure than Facebook, where anybody and everybody
Do
can.
you find the low-level achievers are getting the help they need?
Well, the obvious issue is whether they have internet access at home. I mean, yeah. But what I noticed when I had my kids make their accounts that day, right away when they logged in for the first time, it was, oh, this is like Facebook. I mean, they really, it got me excited about it because I was unsure, you know, and the kids were so excited about it that it got me excited about it. And I've had parents tell me too that they don't allow their kids to have a Facebook page, but by having this, it's kind of like a Facebook page, and their kid feels included a little bit that way. So I did have one or two parents tell me that.
You have to have a computer at home to do this.
Yeah, or you can get to it through an iPhone or, you know, the smartphones.
So what percentage of your students don't have anything?
Somebody else asked that last hour. I should, I guess, pull them on their opening questionnaire for my class. I don't know. I don't know how many can't get to it at home. But
But the other thing to look at is, can they get to the public library, or can they go to a friend's house and study, you know, that might have
ELT.
access to ELT.
It's not firewall.
I have a similar kind of thing, and I have a student who's grounded for 2 weeks. She's not allowed to go on the internet for 2 weeks. So then what do I do when her assignments on the internet?
Well, I want to preface this by saying I do not make, this is not the only place they can get their stuff. You know, I'm always giving them a handout or whatever, but I'll send out, you know, if vocab's due tomorrow, I'll send them the file because maybe they forgot it, or, you know, just as a reminder. But this is not the only way my kids can get their assignments. Does that make sense? So, but on the messages, I want to point out too, it's kind of nice. I can send a message to my entire group, to all my kids at once, or I can send a message to just one student. Okay, so you don't have, I mean, you can send it to one, two, or the whole group. Okay. So if, you know, students gone, absent, you can send them that. I've had students that were going to be gone send me an Edmodo message in the morning asking what we're doing. I'll send it to them. So that's another way that it's been useful. Now, to be honest, it doesn't happen as often as I'd like, but it's happened. The other thing I like about, well, I haven't used this much, but it's there for us. You can have them turn their assignments in online. If you just want to grade them on the computer or not print them off, they can turn in their doc. You can see this person turned in a Word document to me online. So you can send out assignments too and have them turn it in online. I've only done that once, and we did it in class, so it wasn't something that they had to do outside of class.
Isn't there something in CanEd that you could also?
Well, we're going to lose CanEd though, and the kids, from my experience, and I'm speaking for myself, the kids can navigate through this so much easier than CanEd. CanEd was kind of sterile, and yeah. Plus, we're going to lose CanEd after this year. So you can, if you want, you can have them turn things in online. I had some PowerPoints turned in online too, so that they didn't have to print them off. Also, another thing I really like this part of it, the calendar. The calendar is easy to work with. You just pick a day, type in what you're doing, and then you can put whatever group you want it to go to. If you teach multiple preps, you can put what group you want that event to go to. So yeah, and you can color code it too. I just have blue because I teach just biology. But if you taught multiple preps, you can color code your calendar so that maybe blue's biology and green's botany or whatever. You can color code it. Makes it look nice. But the calendar is easy to work with, and what I really like about it is that this is my fake student account that I created. If we have an event coming up, Edmodo will send that to the whole group, so they can see their upcoming events. They can click on that and they can see what's coming up in the class. So, and I know they can get this through Infinite Campus too, but that's their fault.
Maybe I'm old, but do you think that this sort of thing relieves them of the responsibility of organizing themselves? Or does it kind of feed into the new culture that's coming up? I'm too old to recognize that it's there already.
I learned about Edmodo at a technology conference, and we had this debate, whether this is enabling or, it just depends on how you do it. For me, with freshmen, I don't think it's a bad thing to send out reminders or to have a calendar for them. But some people do view that as enabling, and I understand that too. So, but
I have a calendar for myself, Yahoo, and I don't find that it's enabling. It's like, if I don't have that calendar, my son's not going to go to soccer practice.
Right.
So, I can see that,
right.
They see it as a tool, an organizational tool, and they can apply something like this to their own lives.
Yeah. And some people. Right. We talked. Like if I don't send out every single assignment individually every time we do something, but if we have something big coming up, I'll send it to them just as a reminder. But some people have issues with that, I guess. See that as enabling, but I don't, especially with this age level. But yeah, we had that debate at the conference I went to. So the calendar, pretty easy to navigate and format. The other thing that's nice, and this is just like CanEd, the students and teachers have a library, so they can upload their documents, keep their documents there. I put PowerPoints, notes, all that stuff online for the kids. So the library's nice. When the students log in, if they just click on the class, there's my library that I've made available to them. So they just have to click on the group, and they can navigate through the folders. So like on Friday we're having Chapter 4 test. I'll show the kids this on Thursday, just as a reminder. I've already showed them, but just as a reminder, all my stuff's there, and if they want to look at the PowerPoint, they can. So they'll have access to whatever you want to give them access to. When you put something in your library, somebody else asked this today, and I just found this out today. When you put something in your library, you can check right there who has access to it. So if you don't want anybody to have access to it, like it's a key or something, you don't have anybody have access to it, just don't check any box. I mean, it's just your file there for you. Or if something's old Like if there's a deadline and they cannot work on it after this deadline, after that deadline, you could uncheck the box, and then they don't have access to it. So that's an option as well. The other thing with Edmodo is parent accounts. Edmodo tried to make the communication between the teacher and the student transparent for parents. And so anytime a student joins a group, there's a parent code associated with it. And it's kind of nice. Edmodo puts it into a spreadsheet. It does this for you. You don't have to do it. And every student is given a parent code. There's the spreadsheet. So there's all my students and all their parent codes associated with their accounts. And then if the parent wants, the parent can have an Edmodo account. You give them that parent code, and then they can see the interaction between the teacher and the student. So they can't see your interaction with other students. They can't go to other students' walls. It's just with their student and that teacher, the parents can see it. That's there too. And you can also, if you want to send out a note to just the parents, you can do that. Like last week, I sent out a permission form. Just a sample. You can choose just parents to receive that message, and then you're sending the note out to all the parents at once. I'll be honest though, out of my 112 kids or whatever, only 16 parents have an account. They did tell me, a lot of them told me that they liked knowing it was there, and they liked being informed about it, but it was just another thing for them to check, and they just wanted to do it. But some parents want to see everything, and so that's their thing. They want. Go ahead.
Sam, can you replicate things like that on the parent portal like the campus too? Or do you use that under exclusive?
I haven't sent. That's there. There's only been one thing I've sent to the parents, and that was the permission form we did. So I don't send out like, hey, this is due. Here's what we're, assignments we're doing. I send that to the kids, every once in a while, but not to the parents. So because if you send it to the kid, the parent can see it if they want. So, because it's transparent. So, some other options. I haven't used this as much, but I know the polling option is popular in math and science, especially. You can have quick polls. Every students do. Quizzes. I haven't used a quiz. I don't know a lot about it, but it's there. The alert, I think, is really the same thing as sending a note, but it just says alert, and I guess to bring attention to it. So that's there too. Like I said, I made a fake student account. You want to see what the students see when they log in. See, Edmodo doesn't like me to be logged in as two people at the same time, so let me log back in as a student.
You log on Facebook as two different people?
I don't know. See, I've got one tab I'm logged in as a teacher, and the other tab I was logged in as a student. I didn't like that. But you can see what this is what the students see. If you send out a note, it would show up on their wall. So it's pretty similar. And then this student we had join Mr. Stevens' World History class too. So any class that they're in would be listed along here on the left. And if they wanted to navigate between classes, they could just click on the link and go from class to class that way. Are there any other questions? Can you think of anything I forgot? I think that was it. And like I said, I just started using it this year, just touched surface with it. I know Terry Payne upstairs is using it a lot more than I do, and some other teachers are using it. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. The help tutorials are great if you get stuck on anything. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks.
It's very similar to the wiki space, but there's other things that you can do here that you can't do. Now I gotta decide which one. I've already started the wiki page.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll try that this year, see how it goes.
I like the text updates, so I know if one of my kids sends me something, I check my phone and I see it right away.
You can do that with the wiki.
Mm.
They can send me messages and I get an update. Whenever they put something on the wiki, then I get a notification. Something that you can do with the wiki, I don't know if you can do it on here. You can